You're seeing no cars here on I-70. We're also not seeing smoke and we're not seeing flames, but take a look down here. This is where all of the cars are. The window is absolutely shattered here at the Thirsty Lion and there's glass all over the ground. The owner also tells me that there's a bullet hole on one of the walls inside the restaurant. You can imagine just how busy it was here in Lodo at rush hour, especially just 400 feet away from Union Station. Now that the sun has come up, we can really take a better look at what's going on here. So that roof that's supposed to be red right there, completely charred. You can see all of the black on it. And just below that roof, look at the doorway. The doorway is black. It looks like actually the door is on the ground there. The window is blown out. And just looking through those open spaces, you can see a lot of black on the inside. We've got 2 people hurt, multiple people in custody, and a very active scene here this morning. Let's show you exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing investigators kind of walk all around this area, and a lot of attention is on that Range Rover. Since it is an abandoned apartment building, they have to check unit by unit for each of those hotspots. I want you to look at the roof up here on the north side of the building. We know that this is where the fire started. We've seen investigators taking photos here at the scene by the evidence markers. It looks like there's a lot of evidence markers over there by that car, by the gas pump, and right underneath the 7-Eleven sign. It's kind of hard to see though as these cars are making their way past us. That's because they're finding a workaround here, because actually Colorado Boulevard is blocked off completely here at 35th Avenue.
Sí, sí, entiendo. Y ahora, ¿qué impacto tiene eso en tu futuro?
And now all of the action is on the other side of this police tape right here. A lot more cars have shown up in the last couple of minutes. We're seeing a lot of investigators on scene. They just walked into the house just a couple of minutes ago. So now that the sun has come up, we can really give you a better picture of the damage. Look on the side of the house there. You can see directly through. You see trees on the other side, and it looks like you actually see investigators on that back side of the house walking through there. We can see them right through the house. And that's why it still looks like this. The man who lives here has also been collecting some things that he's found in his front lawn since the plane crashed. Here's that box. So he's found a couple of the pieces of the plane like this chip with some wire, and also these glasses that look like they were burned. Take a look at your screen. Do you see this big chunk that's missing out of this spruce tree back here? The NTSB says that the plane flew into that tree on the way down, made its way all the way up here, left these tracks at the sidewalk and on the road, and ended up here in this front lawn where it caught fire. Both of these tail lights are out. Looks like those are on the ground, and if I had to guess, this Nissan sign probably goes right here. Really tough scene to come back to after landing at DIA. I weigh a lot more than this flag, and I'm even having a hard time standing here. I've gotten kind of knocked over a couple times, and something that kind of caught me by surprise is that the wind is blowing a lot of stuff up in the air, and it's getting into my eyes and into my contacts, and it's kind of uncomfortable. There is still a little bit of hail on the ground. You can see that. Look at that. It's almost June, and look at all of this. But for the most part, the street is pretty dry here. If we turn around, though, on this side of the street, on this corner, you can see that there is a car submerged in some water still. This is how much standing water they had here. It came up to this line here right on the side, and if we head around the corner, take a look at these holes here in the bottom. These holes are from hail pounding into it. Take a look at Main Street here. Really not an issue. Cars are coming right through. Oh, a plow right on cue. Come on, you cannot plan for this stuff on live TV. Beautiful, not a paid actor, but you can see the center yellow line perfectly fine on Main Street. Where we are seeing some accumulation though is the tree. Just a good reminder for the rest of the winter season just to knock the snow off of the branches. Now I know you're looking at that and thinking, well, what's the big whoop, right? Well, here's the big whoop. I'll show you. It's not just those small little branches. It's these huge limbs, too. It was amazing. As soon as we got to Leadville, you can just see all of the smoke in the air. It was like a big blanket of smoke. And as you take a look behind me, it really just covers the air. You can't see the mountains. But a good example of not really being able to see too much when you look out further is looking out over Sloan's Lake. You're supposed to see downtown Denver right back there, but downtown has disappeared. And I don't know if we sent the shortest reporter to come here so that this looks a little bit more dramatic, but standing at a towering 5'3", you can see that the snow that's been plowed is really starting to pile up here. When this plumber got to this home here in Parker, he saw something he had never seen before. So if you're thinking about wearing that ugly Christmas sweater this year, probably not going to be the best day for it, as we're talking about maybe the warmest Christmas we've ever seen in Denver. So Katie, I'm thinking that the Hawaiian shirt is probably going to be a better call for Christmas Day this year. You can still see some of the evidence markers here on the curb. It's these yellow arrows pointing that way. The most ironic part about all of this, yeah, check that out. That's the Lochbuie Police Department directly across the street. Today, no arrests and no sign of police. Definitely some signs of bad weather though. Students have been shoveling the snow in between their tents, and some of it has melted as it's now raining this afternoon. But with all of these tents full of food, the students are hoping to brave the cold for as long as they can. Of all of the books that have been returned here at Riverside Library in Evans, this one has everyone here scratching their heads. Isn't this view insane? I almost hate to have my back turned to it. I wish that we could do my whole live shot like this so I could soak it all in. The last hour we talked about drinks, and anyone who's not a rookie would tell you that you should probably do the food thing before the drinks, but we make our own rules here. I have Brooke Bishop with McGregor Square. Good morning. Honestly, it was getting pretty cold out there, so the girls were so gracious to invite me inside their tent. We did add a couple things. Now we finally got some pillows, some blankets, so it's looking good. And here is why. All right, we have a full Bloody Mary and a mimosa bar over here. We have a shot ski over here. Let's see it, boys. Loop around Terminal East. This is all going to take more than 2 hours. Almost there. And then we'll hope that our body gets on the plane. But the bags are a different story. But right now I'm heading over to Lake Mitchell. We are going to go ice fishing. I will see you guys there. You're falling from the sky. You have beautiful northern Michigan in front of you. It's important to remember the reason this all happened. Yeah, the one right here. But Corey, I do have to agree with you. A spicy margarita over any sort of regular margarita any day of the week. Anyways, if City Council gives us the green light today. Good morning, Jordan and Corey, and good morning to Kim Sunshine Peak Academy. When you walk in the snow, you leave behind footprints showing your every move. Same thing happens when you step into the online world, potentially leading to your digital downfall. Just leaving Clear Sky Elementary School Monday afternoon gave kids a bad gut feeling.
We got on a bus and there was a substitute and he wouldn't let us leave the school until we stopped talking.
Getting out of the parking lot would be the least of these sisters' worries. Caitlin on the left and Kira on the right.
I'm 7, she's 10, so he finally left. And he was skipping all the kids' stop. And when I mean all the kids, I mean all the kids. And we felt like when he was driving and missing our stops, like we were getting kidnapped.
The kids say their bus driver ended up 2 miles away from the school at the corner of Wolfensberger and Auburn with a bus full of about 40 kids.
He stopped right here at this intersection, like right here. And he said, "Everybody get off my bus."
They say it was around 5 o'clock.
And then everybody was like stressing, like crying.
Getting dark and cold.
And we forgot our jackets on the bus because out of stress. Yeah, we were shivering. Me and my little sister, we live like 2 miles away from here. So we had like no idea what to do.
A stranger offered the girls a ride and helped the girls call their mom, Ashley Stark.
I was absolutely petrified. And for a stranger to call me and tell me that she had my children in the car, and they were crying and screaming and bright red and frozen.
She says it's not something she can just let go.
This wasn't an honest mistake or a slip up. There was a lot of different ways that this driver could have handled this.
Caitlin and Kira's new ride to school.
You're looking at her.
And other parents will not stop until they get to the bottom of what happened on the bus.
It was super, super scary.
It's just unfathomable, and I think that there definitely needs to be some accountability on the side of the Department of Transportation.